Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse podcast. This is episode number 196. My name's Adam Patterson. Joining me today, as always, we have Kevin Rakestraw. How you doing there, Kevin?
I'm doing pretty good.
This week on the show, we'll be talking about the one I know you've all been waiting for. Carol. Of course.
Misdirect.
Yeah, had to do it. Of course, we'll also be going over some we've been watching on the watch list, movie predictions, new on video on demand, Blu-ray releases. First up, just a little bit of news this week. Basically, everybody was talking about Star Wars this week. There's a little movie that came out called Star Wars: The Force Awakens. As most people could have predicted, it destroyed the box office.
A little bit.
So it walked away with an estimated $238 million in its first 3 days domestically.
Wow.
Including $57 million in Thursday night preview screenings, along with another $279 million internationally for a massive $517 million opening.
Jeez. And there's so many, just talking to a couple of, coworkers and stuff that went to see the new Star Wars, I've heard about so many things that I've never heard of happening at a release of a film.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, the people that went Thursday night, you went and there was a tent outside that you went and gave your ticket to, and they give you like a wristband. And then when you walked into the theater, now this is a multiplex that has, I think, I would say like 10, 11 screens, maybe 12. You walk in, the lobby is just completely open. Every single screen is showing Star Wars, and you just went to whatever screen you wanted.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, they didn't delegate, they didn't say, okay, you're in theater 4, you're in theater 7. You just picked one. So
that's
the
cool.
whole theater was just Star Wars, which I've never heard of, ever.
No, I have not heard of that either.
And then I also saw on Twitter, I forget who it was. It might have been, I forget who it was, but there was like a merch booth set up for Star Wars.
Yeah. There was a...
What?
Yeah, there was a merch booth in our theater. Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep, there was a merch booth. And they had some really cool stuff at the merch booth, too, actually.
Yeah, like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know.
Was there a merch booth for sisters?
Carol merch booth.
You could buy a train set? A Carol train set?
Oh,
or the Carol-inspired luggage?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's quite a phenomenon, this movie.
It's completely insane. And they were let in, like, I think the first showing was 7 o'clock, and they were let in at like 4.
Yeah,
just like hang out.
Yeah, so I saw it at the IMAX, which has assigned seating. I was like, nah, I'm not dealing with those crowds. When we got to the theater, we got there maybe 30 minutes prior to the start time. No, there was no waiting. No giant crowds, no nothing. The lobby had an average amount of people in it. It wasn't like swarmed with people or anything. Didn't have to wait in any kind of long bullshit lines. I just walked right in, gave them my ticket, got my 3D glasses, and found my seat. It was smooth.
Nice.
And I saw it in Times Square too. So for some reason, it in Times Square, that theater it never gets that packed. You think it would, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's never that bad.
I would imagine maybe everyone's trying to avoid it because they
assume
that it's going to be packed.
Yeah,
so
because
let's not go there.
Yeah, because if you go to the Regal in Union Square, that one is always packed. That one's always busy. And I don't know. I mean, they have a really good system at that AMC in Times Square to keep things moving. And they have a lot of people working there. So, I don't know. Maybe that's part of it. But, yeah, either way, I will give my brief spoiler-free thoughts on Star Wars a little bit later in the show. The only other thing, there's a couple trailers that came out this week. The new Independence Day film, Independence Day Resurgence, got a trailer. I am not on board with this one. Holy crap.
Oh boy.
It's just, come on, guys. It's been 20 years since
It's just, again, it's one of those things where it's like, who asked for this. Who was like, man, I really wish there would be like a sequel or a reboot or something for Independence Day. God, that's what everyone's clamoring for.
Yeah, I'm just not interested at all in this one. So yeah, not too into that. Ben Wheatley's High Rise got a teaser trailer. Now this one I am interested in very much so.
I'm so interested that I don't even need to see a trailer. I already know I'm gonna watch
The teaser trailer is interesting because it's sort of set up like a viral video, like one of those fake ads.
Yeah,
and it's like kind of advertising the High Rise.
Oh, okay.
I'm really excited for it because for some reason it reminds me of Cronenberg's film Rabid or Shivers.
Okay.
It just has that same look, and I'm really excited for this one. I heard mixed things out of where was it? TIFF, I think maybe that it premiered.
Yeah, but you always hear mixed things with Wheatley.
Yeah. Either way, very excited for that one. Star Trek Beyond got a new trailer. Got a first trailer.
Ooh.
I'm a little. I don't know about this one. I mean, I liked the first two Star Treks. Did you see one of those?
I saw the second one.
Yeah, you saw the second one.
I thought it was the first one.
You liked it though, right?
Yeah. It's alright. I mean, it was a good time.
This one's interesting. The trailer is set to the Beastie Boys' Sabotage, which is an interesting choice.
That's odd.
Yeah, but it's kind of a fun trailer. This one's written by Simon Pegg.
Really?
Yeah. So presumably there's going to be a lot more fun comedic stuff in there.
That'd be funny if he just took it to an extremely dark
very
place.
serious, very dark. People die.
Very dark. Everyone dies. Actually, he ends Star Trek.
He just ends the series.
This is the end.
Jacob Gentry's time travel science fiction film Synchronicity got a new trailer.
Okay.
This is the guy who directed The Signal, which that also got a lot of mixed things out of. I think that one premiered at Sundance, and I don't know. I'm kind of interested in this one. This one comes out January 22nd.
Okay.
So I'm into science fiction stuff. I like time travel stuff, and it looks like kind of an interesting take on the whole time travel thing. AJ Bowen's in it too. I like him.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's it for news and trailers and stuff. So not a whole lot to talk about this week. Just a lot of Star Wars stuff. If you're somebody that hates Star Wars, I'm sorry. I apologize because the internet was just inundated with everything Star Wars. It got me excited though. I was into it. It was difficult. It was difficult trying to avoid all of the news feeds and tweets and everything until I saw it though. But fortunately I was able to avoid not only spoilers but any talk of the film at all. Like
Ooh.
I deliberately did not go to Rotten Tomatoes, so I didn't know what critics were saying. I didn't read any other reviews. Completely went in cold.
Just blackout.
Yeah, it was nice. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our review for this week. We're talking about Carol. This is directed by Todd Haynes. I have a synopsis here. Set in 1950s New York, a department store clerk who dreams of a better life falls for an older married woman. This stars Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara. Sarah Paulson's in there too. And as is Kyle Chandler and Jake Lacey.
Jake Lacey.
Yep.
Kevin Rakestraw 2.0.
Yep. Exactly. So I think that I will start this off. I should mention that Carol is now playing in limited release in theaters.
All right.
I'll start this one off, and I will say, what's the big deal with Carol? What is the big fucking deal with Carol?
That's what I want to know. I'm right there with you. What the fuck? What I don't understand.
I was racking my brain trying to figure out why people are losing their minds over this movie. Now, hey, if this movie came out in like 1984 or something, and it had two, famous Hollywood actresses, and it was dealing with this subject matter, this kind of taboo subject matter for the time, then maybe I could understand. Maybe I could get it, because then people would be like, oh, that movie's so progressive. Man, they're really going there with it. But in 2015, guys, come on. And let's set that aside, because really that's what, even if people are not saying directly that that's why they're pretending to love this movie, that's why they just think that they should because of the subject matter.
Ooh, bold, going with the pretending.
And
ooh, take that, people.
Well, I mean,
that like Carol.
Well, I'm not saying that it's a bad movie or you shouldn't like it, but
yeah, but it's perfectly fine.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Perfectly fine film. It's like a, it's good for what it is, but to me there's nothing really here that makes me want to jump up and down and wave people down out in the street and be like, you need to see this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yeah, that's solid filmmaking. Good job.
And I mean, just focusing on the love story, just focusing on the love story, it's not that interesting. It's just not that interesting of a love story.
Let's start there. Because this was the biggest problem that I have with Carol, is the love story that's at the center of this film. Now, I honestly just did not feel it.
I wasn't buying it.
I did not feel it. They did not sell me on the idea of them being in love with each other.
Yeah, I mean, I get that it was kind of a whirlwind romance thing. They locked eyes when they first saw each other at the department store, and it was just,
but that was like the peak of their romance.
Yeah.
Where it starts there and you're like, oh shit, there's something here.
Yeah.
Here we go. But everything after that was just completely lifeless.
Yep.
Listless. I mean, it's just, and again, performances are fine.
Yep.
I didn't think either one of them were really, truly extraordinary, whereas, again, I'm shouting from the rooftops or anything like that. But the main thing that really had me is there was nothing. I never once, when I saw either character's face, I didn't see it in their face. I didn't see it in their eyes that they were actually like in love with each other. It just felt like play acting the entire time. Like I could tell that you're acting and you weren't doing that great of a job of selling me on the idea of being like enraptured with each other.
Yeah. Yep. I completely agree. I mean, I think that this is kind of where Cate Blanchett really, really shines as an actress. I think that she nails that kind of old Hollywood vibe. Like the way that she looks and the way that she emotes. I mean, she just nails this kind of
it's period. More, yeah, because it's one of those things. If you look at this film and you're thinking about it, who else could you see playing Carol besides her?
Yeah,
you can't really think of anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Rooney Mara, on the other hand, she's fine as an actress. I thought she was fine in this movie, but to me, she seemed like she was of a different era. She felt like she was too modern to me. I don't know. I wasn't altogether buying her. Now, she did kind of have like the Audrey Hepburn look going for a little bit there, but I just wasn't, I don't know, for some reason, she looked too modern to me.
I can see that.
And then one of the strangest things in this movie to me that I just could not understand was Carrie Brownstein's she's in the opening credits too.
That's what I'm glad that you brought that up, because I would have completely forgotten to mention this, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh damn, she's in this movie. I wonder what she does.
Yeah. And
she shows up at that party, right? And you kind of see her in the background and you're like, oh, okay.
Which by the way was one of my favorite shots in the whole movie, where it was kind of pulled back outside the building and then you could see in through the windows.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. But
I'm thinking like, okay, where's this gonna go? We're gonna end up going in like a different direction, maybe, or how does she play into all this?
Right.
And they exchange a couple words, and then that's it.
And that's it. She's gone. She's gone.
Are you fucking kidding me? That was it?
Yep. She had, I think, 2 lines probably.
Yeah, she was just like,
I can't help but wonder.
It's like, I know these people. Yeah, I heard good things about you. Done.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder if she had more originally. I mean, I don't know.
She
Maybe
had
her.
to be. I mean, I guess this should be a good point in time that I would venture a guess that you haven't read Patricia Highsmith's
Yes, and
original
I was,
novel. So
yeah,
so we don't know if this character plays a bigger role.
right, and that's exactly what I was just gonna say. Was that maybe she had a bigger role in the novel, and they were just kind of putting her in there to
They just kind of
to have
threw her
her.
in like, hey, if you read the novel, you'll be like, oh my God, Genevieve.
Oh man, it's like when J.J. Abrams puts something in Star Wars, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!" and the whole audience erupts. Genevieve.
I was wondering who they would get to play Genevieve. Carrie Brownstein. Oh my God, perfect fit. But yeah, that was very odd. I
Yeah,
didn't quite
that felt really.
understand that.
Because I thought that there was going to be more to that. I thought that she was going to, the two of them were going to start dating or something, and then Kate Blanchett was going to come back into the picture, and then there she was going to be like, oh, well, I'm in this good relationship now, but no, that's not really how it goes.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's like they're like, I mean, again, it looks good. I mean, huge props to the set decorators, the cost, the prop. I mean, the time period is absolutely nailed.
Yeah, and I love that.
Which to me is like the highlight of this movie, is where it's just like, damn, it feels like it came from that time period.
Yeah, and I love that a large portion of it takes place around Christmas time too, because that's like, I don't know.
It felt right too.
Yeah.
Watching at this point in time, it was like, yeah, a Christmas movie that's not really a Christmas movie. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. But man, there's not much going on here. And I really thought going into this that the things that would strike me the most performance wise, or the emoting or the acting or anything, would come from the interactions between Kate Blanchett and Rooney Mara, but that's not the case. The thing that actually struck me the most was, between Kate Blanchett and like Kyle Chandler, like when they were going through their divorce proceedings, where she gives that little speech towards the end.
Yeah.
And she ends up making a sacrifice, and they make that compromise. Like, to me, that's where it was like, oh shit, this is heavy. But everything else, which is like the central theme storyline of the entire film, just felt completely flat for me.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't find anything new or compelling with this movie. I feel like it was just a pretty unnecessary movie. Like I got nothing out of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can just the tweet that I sent out. It seems like a fine movie and all. It seems like good people. They seem like good people. I just don't want to ever be around them ever again in my life. Just in the sense that, there's perfectly nice, wonderful people in the world that I just don't want to spend time with. You seem great, but it's just not for me.
Right. So
we don't have anything in common. Let's just no.
So you're not on board with Carol too.
I'm not. I mean, again, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it's a decent movie. The cinematography is solid. Performances are pretty good. The writing, that like the actual screenplay, the dialogue, sure, good stuff. But it doesn't move me. It doesn't push me towards, again, to where I'm, shouting out, singing its praises.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, yeah, it's good. It's good. And light recommend. Check it out.
Yeah, and then that's exactly where I fall too. Like it's not a bad movie, and I think that maybe one of the issues with this is that the hype was so high for this one going in that I don't want to say that I expected it to be something great, but I was really hoping that it would be, just because it's landing on so many people's top 10 lists, and it's getting all this Oscar buzz, and it's been nominated for all these awards and all of this stuff. So I was kind of hoping that it would be something different. I was afraid that it was going to be exactly what it was.
Yeah. I loved Todd Haynes' Mildred Pierce. absolutely loved that miniseries. So I was pretty excited for this coming out, and you put on top of that the crazy amount of buzz and just everyone, like you said, it's popping up on top tens everywhere, and it's film of the year, and I'm like, oh shit, he made something better than Mildred Pierce. Oh boy, can't wait. But no, I'm sorry. I'd rather watch Mildred Pierce 100 times over than ever have to watch Carol again.
Hmm.
I it's just not my thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's like a little bit better than a Manila folder. Like a little bit better.
Yeah, I would say that's largely due to the visuals in it for me.
Yeah, and it has a little bit more potential. So I would say instead of a Manila folder, it's a Ticonderoga #2 pencil.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's what we're at. Where it has the ability to, maybe create wonderful things, but it's pretty bland.
Yeah, yeah. I think if it wasn't set in the 50s, maybe it would be pretty. It probably wouldn't be nearly as enjoyable for me.
No, not at all. Because again, that's the thing that really kept me in. Was like, my God, they just nailed this.
Yeah. Now, if it does get nominated for some awards, the things pertaining to that, I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those situations where if it got nominated for awards, I wouldn't be that upset. I wouldn't be like, "What? Oh my God, you're insane." But
no, it's certainly not a war horse or anything.
No, but you're not going to see it on my top 50. I can tell you that right now.
Oh no!
Spoiler.
No, you won't be seeing mine either.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one of. I wish we could play that card just like once a year. You had a card that was just like, it's fine, and you don't have to say anything else.
Yeah, it's definitely. I've noticed that it is sparking some conversation. There's some people that are. There was one conversation that I saw. I'm not gonna say where it was taking place, but it was talking about how some people were saying that this is an anti-heterosexual film. Can't even say without laughing. Yeah, because of how the men are portrayed in this film.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the 50s, guys. Like that's just if it was. I might be able to understand that if it was 2015 when this movie took place. So the way that things are, it's a lot different now than back in the 50s. There was a very clear hierarchy of how things worked back then.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But I do, in a certain sense, I can understand where this person was coming from, because most of the men in this movie are pretty generic in that they are kind of just lunks. They're like every man that Rooney Mara encounters is essentially just trying to sleep with her. Like they can't just be regular guys. But the one guy does kind of John Magaro.
Yeah, that plays Danny.
Yeah, I mean he turns out fine. So I don't know.
I mean, he gives it a shot.
Yeah,
he gives it the old college try.
Yeah, but he kind of makes up for it then by just being a friend, just being a good old friend. So I don't know. I'm the type of person, when I see movies, I don't typically notice things like that. Like there's some people that are just talking about Star Wars, like how Star Wars has.
But again, you got to look at the fact that you're coming from a place of the straight white guy.
Yeah, but
so you're just kind of like, yeah, I don't know, because you're not looking for that. You're not a marginalized demographic. Yeah, everything kind of caters to you. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying too. Is that I can see it kind of as like an anti-heterosexual film, but at the same time, even if you're trying to make that case, I don't think it's a strong enough one to really, pull me over into it. It's like, oh man, that's really interesting if you look at it from that way. Still, even if you pull me over and I'm looking at it from that angle, I'm still going to be like, yeah, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like there's that much there. There's
Right.
not much to really latch onto and really think about and delve into. I mean, the only thing that really, the thing that I noticed throughout the, another thing that bothers me is like 2 hours. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yes, it is a little.
It just
It's a
keeps
little
going
bit of a
on and on,
slog,
and
yeah.
they don't add anything to it. It just keeps going. And they just keep rehashing the same things over and over again. And for me, the only thing that was like, well, what's really interesting about this film is that they never, the word lesbian is never mentioned.
Yeah.
The word homosexual is never mentioned. Not, it's never mentioned. They never bring it up. It's just always implied. Everyone's kind of like hinting at it and kind of skirting around it. And no one really wants to discuss it head on. That was the only thing that I thought was like, okay, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't really think about that, I guess.
That leaves some room for thought. But outside of that, there's just nothing for me to latch onto and really think about.
Yeah. I thought that I was really going to be kind of moved by the love story, because that's what everybody was saying. Like, it's such a moving love story, and it's such a powerful love story, but it just really wasn't. It really wasn't there for me. And honestly, it doesn't take a lot for me to be moved by a film. It's not that I'm like some kind of, cold-hearted.
No, and I've said it numerous times, but you turn on, anytime I listen to StoryCorps Friday on NPR, I pretty much cry. That's what I do on my drive to work. So I'm like you. It doesn't take much to move me. Like, Sports Center specials will move me.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this guy's having a really rough time, but he turned it around. Now he's playing in the majors, and I'm just like, oh my god,
it's such a beautiful story.
It's so wonderful. I'm so happy for his family. But yeah, I got nothing for Carol.
Yep. Same here, unfortunately. All right, so let's go ahead and give this thing a score. Kevin, what are you going to give Carol?
I'm going to give Carol I'm going to go with 6. And that's a soft, flaccid 6.
It's going to be a 5.5 for me. I think if the length was a little bit shorter, I probably would have bumped it up to the 6, because it's still...
That would have helped so much. It's
still kind of a light recommend for me, but it was just, I don't know. I just didn't enjoy myself very much throughout this.
No.
Unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's Carol playing in select theaters right now. Let's go ahead and talk about some of what we've been watching in our watch list. Kevin, I think we'll start with you this week. What do you got? What's your first movie?
I'm cramming in 2015s like crazy.
I'm trying
to get them in.
I'm trying to do it too.
So first off, I went to the movie theater. Saw myself some Macbeth.
What?
Justin Kurzel. Number one, I just want to point out something that happened during my screening of Macbeth. Not that many people in the theater. Two youngins, I'm going to say like early 20s, decided to sit in front of us, and one splayed out. He slept. I think he slept like 90% of the film. And I mean, he wasn't like incognito, just like sleeping slumped over. He was like sprawled out, like 3 chairs wide. So like halfway through the film, the other guy, the one that's not sleeping, is on his phone constantly, just looking shit up, I guess, checking his Twitter feed or whatever. And he leans over to the other guy and goes, "Psst, it's Shakespeare."
Oh my God.
Which I have so many questions. So many questions. Did you really did you not know that this was Shakespeare?
Oh my God.
Have you ever gone to school? Like, what do they teach in school if they don't teach this? Because I kind of remember reading Macbeth like 4 times in high school.
Yeah.
Like, every single English class was like, we're going to read Macbeth. And you're like, God damn it.
Again? Come on.
Yeah. It's like that, Romeo and Juliet, and fucking Merchant of Venice. But, so yeah, that happened. That was really odd. But the film itself is, it's quite fantastic. I gotta say, I don't know if I was quite ready for the visuals in this film, because holy shit is it cinematic. The cinematography is unbelievable. It has so much style going on. But the surprising highlight for me was actually the score, which is from Justin's brother Jed, and it worked so wonderfully. That in concert with the cinematography, in concert with the performances from both Fassbender and Cotillard, it was unbelievable. Now, again, it might be one of those things where I'm not extremely well versed in Macbeth, so I didn't really have expectations. I didn't have kind of, what I was expecting from the characters to be mapped out, because I've read it numerous times and I see them a certain way. But man, it was pretty good, I gotta say. And for me, me, I'm not that big on like Shakespeare films.
Yeah,
and they speak, it's the full-on Shakespeare. Not only is it full-on Shakespeare, but then you have the accents on top of it. And they did not provide subtitles, which I think was a terrible decision, because I understood like nothing. I barely understood anything. But you don't have to, because it's fantastic, just from the way that they carry themselves, the way that they emote. And, you kind of have a familiarity to the story anyways. You kind of know the rough outline. But, yeah, it was quite good. And I see now why they kind of used that from the visionary Justin Kurzel. Because there's a scene towards the end where there's like a fire raging. So everything has this like reddish orange fire hue to it. And, oh my God. Yes, please. More of that.
Interesting. So I'm hoping that I get to see this before the end of the year. I'm not so sure now, though, because I got so much to get caught up on.
You got so much to cram in.
But yeah, Macbeth is playing right now in theaters, so
definitely check that out.
Yeah. Well, I fully intended to see it. It just slipped right by me, unfortunately. All right. I saw the Man from Reno.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
all right. Was it up your alley?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had a good time with this one. Good time. Nice. Turtles.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
It's an unexpected turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're like, what is the mystery of this story? And then you're just like, really? Okay.
Yeah. I was
Turtles.
Like, all right, well, that's interesting.
Turtles.
I really had no idea what this was all about going into it. So it was kind of it was interesting to me. It definitely has that noir vibe that you mentioned. I mean, it is certainly a noir.
Yeah.
And the gut punch that you mentioned it definitely hit me. Totally didn't expect it. But yeah, overall, I'd say if you're looking for a good noir mystery, Man from Reno, check it out. Because yeah, everything that you said the other week about it, I pretty much mirror. It's pretty excellent.
Yeah, it was one of the more pleasant surprises from 2015. Because I think we've talked about so many movies where the people are really amping them up, and I think for me and you both, we've kind of been disappointed by a large number of those films.
Yeah,
Carol, The Mend. I'm sure there's others, but this was the one where it's like, okay, really? And then I watched and I was like, damn, this is actually fantastic.
Yeah, I mean it really pulls you in from early on, because there's lots of little like red herrings and little just all kinds of things happening, and you're trying to piece it together, and while they're trying to piece it together too, and it's just it's a good time all around.
Yeah, and that's Steven Seagal's daughter.
Oh, interesting. Did not know that.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah, that's really weird. That's playing on Netflix Instant, so you can check that out.
Oh, you gotta check that.
Yeah, Man from Reno. If you're looking to cram in some end of the year stuff, be sure to look at that one.
Yeah, I would prioritize that one. Another one that I crammed in was Amour Faux. I don't know. Never mind. Directed by Jessica Hausner.
When that was like coming out and stuff, and we were talking about it on the show, I would always say Amour Faux, but that's probably not right.
Yeah, and I like how I got kind of stuck in like a K-hole where I just kept saying it.
Faux.
I was hoping that like the voice of God would just come in and be like, "It is," and then he would decide for me. But that didn't happen.
Or if your wife just runs into the room and slaps you in the face to get you out of it.
Airplane style. Everyone lines up, just smacks me until I stop it. directed by Jessica Hausner. This was another one that I kind of noticed a couple of people talking about, kind of like underappreciated, underwatched, whatever you want to call it. It's a period piece, okay? Romantic comedy of sorts about German writer Heinrich von Kleist, and deep in form. Got that form going left and right. Every shot, every scene, whatever you want to call it, is just immaculately framed, staged. Everything is fantastic. The romantic comedy portion of it it's a bit of like black humor, considering the storyline, because I had no idea what this was about going in. I just knew it was a period piece. That's all I knew. And so what it's based on is this guy is essentially looking for love through death. He wants someone to die with him. That's what he's looking for. Okay. It's like the ultimate love. He wants to kill himself. He hates life. He has this deep affliction of melancholia. So he's looking for a woman that's like, yeah, I don't like life that much either. Let's die. And he's like, great, because I'm super selfish. This is awesome. I just essentially want you to die by my side. And so it kind of takes that idea, but then runs it through the comedic, the romantic comedy of type, where they're kind of on board, and then things get sidetracked, and then they're playing hard to get, and then they're back and forth, and they really want to do it, and this and that, and it's all like deadpan as can be. And the guy, he just wants to die. He wants to kill himself, and he's telling like everybody. He's just like, I want to die. I think that we're a really good match. Will you die with me? And they're like, no, not really. I think you have the wrong person. And he's just going around to ladies left and right. It's very bizarre. But the look of the film, again, even more so than Carol, a wonderful job of capturing the time, the look and the feel of the time period. It's immaculate. And again, every single scene is just amazing. It's just like every frame is fantastic. So I would definitely check that one out. That's also on Netflix instant.
Okay. I saw Very Semi-Serious, which is a documentary about New Yorker cartoonists and how all that works, but I'm not really going to talk about it because it's pretty average, and I literally have nothing to say. So I'll just move on to Star Wars. Yes. If you want to see Very Semi-Serious, it's on HBO. So if you have HBO Go or HBO Now, you can see it. Star Wars The Force Awakens. Huge fan of this one. I'm not going to say anything about the plot or any details other than I think, A, it was a very good decision to shoot it on film because it looks gorgeous. And B, if you're a fan of the original Star Wars trilogy, including some of the things that made it, well, I don't know how to put this. Some of the characteristics that maybe were not amazing, but still kind of gave it that character. You know what I mean? Like, it made it Star Wars, like the fade cuts and stuff. Like,
do they do swipes?
Yeah, they do lots of different fade cuts, and it looks like the original trilogy. I mean, it looks amazing. So there's that. The dialogue is not great. At times, it flourishes. It has moments of greatness, but also some of the lines and some of the dialogue is quite cheesy. But you can look all past all of that stuff because it's Star Wars, and it's
what I want to see is is there wonderfully realized worlds?
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's the main thing that drew me into Star Wars is
absolutely. There's tons of like aliens and different creatures, and you go to several different planets. And one of the things that and again, since seeing it, I haven't been reading too much up on it, but one of the things that I think people should be talking about is the effects work. How I'd say like 90% of this looks like it's practical effects, and it is gorgeous. Like all of the aliens, with the exception of like a couple here and there, are costumes and animatronics, and it looks freaking awesome. And BB-8, the robot that everybody's talking about, deserves it because it's a freaking amazing robot, and it's a robot that they actually built for this movie, and it's awesome. And this robot has so much personality that you're just like, holy shit.
What they built that robot for the movie?
Yeah, it's real. It's not CG.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's not. That's a real robot.
It's a real robot.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously remote controlled. It doesn't in the movie still. Like it talks and thinks and stuff like that, which it's not. But it is not CG. It's an actual robot that they're controlling.
That's
and
fantastic.
It's awesome. And when you see it, you'll just be like, holy shit, this is amazing. He's kind of like BB-8 is kind of the lovable, sidekick character, sort of like R2-D2, who's also in this. But and he just
is he just like broken down at this point? R2-D2, is he like a a shredding machine?
I can't.
He shreds documents now. Is that what he does?
I can't say.
He serves tea and shreds documents.
He's an old man at this point.
He has like the little arm with the towel folded over, and he just shreds documents and serves tea.
We have a review for this up on the site. Blake actually reviewed it. I didn't find it to be pressing that we get a review for this up on the site because I knew everybody was going to see it anyway. But Blake emailed me and he said, "Hey, I just saw it. Do you want me to write something up?" He's like, "Because I really want to just kind of get my thoughts down because I really liked it and I wanted to just get my ideas out there." So I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he gave it a 9 out of 10. He loved it.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm right there with him. What?
I said pretty much everyone that I talked to enjoyed it. So
yeah,
I'm pretty excited for Wednesday.
So what I said to you off air was this was kind of the perfect movie for me because I'm not such a rabid Star Wars fanboy that I went into it planning on nitpicking every little detail and like I don't covet the original trilogy so much that I don't believe that anything can live up to that.
Yeah.
So I went into it just as a regular fan of the Star Wars series, and because of that, I was able to, I didn't have to pick apart all of the politics and things like that in the movie, and I was able to just sit back and really enjoy it. And I think that most people, when they go see this, will have a really good time. I mean, it is everything that you could want in a Star Wars movie. The action is amazing. There's some surprises that occur. The characters are likable. It's funny. There's a lot of comedy in it, and it's just a great time. It's a really great movie-going experience.
Having some fun.
Yeah, I just felt like a kid the whole time, and I got quite emotional during the movie. So yeah. It was a very
crying out. Star Wars got you to cry, but Carol didn't.
Yeah, it was a very emotional experience for me. It's when I get emotional in movies sometimes. I mean,
was it like the first time that R2-D2 shredded like a ream of paper? Was that when you cried because you were like, "Oh, R2-D2 is so old now"?
No, it's a lot of times when I get emotional in movies, it's not because of the content that's unfolding on screen. It's more so just the experience. Like I'm just so overwhelmed with emotion from actually because I am loving what I'm seeing on the screen so much that it's just making me emotional. Like random movies do it. Like Hateful Eight will probably do it. Like Tarantino movies tend to do that in me where I just get so amped up that I get really emotional. I feel very passionately about the film, and some movies just do that for me. So anyway, Star Wars, if you haven't seen it yet, go see it before somebody ruins it, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
They're looking to ruin it every moment.
Yeah.
One that I avoided having been ruined for me was Blackhat.
Uh-oh.
I checked out some Blackhat. I'm going to say that I'm torn on the Blackhat. There's some ideas that I love about this film. I like the look of it. I'll throw that out there. I like the look of it. I like the digital look, the digital feel.
I do not.
I really enjoyed the first fight scene in that noodle shop or wherever the hell they were.
Yeah.
I like that. I thought everything that came before that was just fucking ridiculous. Which is the other part of part of the problem for this film is it's so idiotic at times. And it's so idiotic when it comes to like really trivial things that where it's like, what? Why? Why did you do that? Like the things that I'm talking about. Number one is the logistics of everything involving Hemsworth being involved in this investigation and how they play it and how they just don't watch him at all. And he's just roaming around doing his thing. And why is he there for numerous things that are happening, like shootouts and stuff like that?
Hacker.
Hacker. The first thing that really like pissed me off was when they're like, there's three guys, but they have no interactions whatsoever. We followed them all day. And he's like, click red path line, click yellow path line, click green path line. We can't find any correlation. And Hemsworth is like, clack, clack, clack. And Jesus Christ, the keystrokes in this movie are so fucking loud. It's just like, it's like he's punching the computer. And it's like, and you know, he overlays all three and he's like, they meet right there. And they all just look at each other like, oh my God, he's a genius. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That was the first thought I had. What are you not intelligent people? What's going on here? And then it kind of snowballs from there. They have he blocks a knife stab with a scarf, and there's the build up to it, which makes it even worse. Like I love the look of it, but there's the slow build up and it's slow mo and he unsheaths the knife and everything, and then he goes to stab and it's like scarf. Nice try. And then he's got like a magazine bulletproof vest that he concocts that doesn't work at all. And I don't understand that. And there's the whole romantic subplot thing that's just absolutely terrible, where they kind of delve into it a little bit and then they're just like, oh, well, let's not talk about this ever again until the end when we need it because, emotions. And then they're like, oh, let's throw 9/11 into it for no reason whatsoever. Outside of like, you weren't there for 9/11. It's just, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a movie that's fighting with itself. It's a movie divided. Like 50% of it's good. I like the ideas that they're discussing, and I love the look of it. And then the other half of it is just absolute shit.
Yeah, I didn't like this one. I think I just pulled up because I forgot what I said. I wrote a review on Letterboxd and I said it's a boring nothing of a film where the only thing shakier than the camera is the plot.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Agree with it.
I don't see the one of the problems that I had with it is I do not like the digital look. I think it looks bad. I think it doesn't. For some movies, you can make things look digital like that, but in like an action movie, I didn't like Public Enemies either. I thought it looked really bad. So just not.
I liked parts of it. Yeah, it's like 50% of the film I love. The other 50% I absolutely hate.
Well, I'm glad that you had a good experience with it, Kevin.
Yeah, I guess you can call that a good experience. Sure.
I think you had a better experience than most.
Yeah, I guess. Which is weird because it seems like people absolutely love this fucking thing where they hate it.
Yeah, that seems kind of polarizing. I don't even remember anything about it, so I remember that I did fall asleep. It's
just Hemsworth being like punching the shit out of computers until they fucking code what he wants it to code. He's like, yeah. Get it.
Oh God.
And then there's that point in time where he's like, I'm not doing the time. He says some stupid inspirational shit where he's like, when I was in prison, the time wasn't doing me. I was doing the time to focus on my body and my mind. And it's just like, shut up, you're a poster. Stupid.
Oh, that's Blackhat.
Blackhat.
That's probably available on all the streaming platforms and on Blu-ray.
Just
and all that.
punch your keyboard until Blackhat shows up on your computer.
There you go. I saw the Peanuts movie. Caught up with the old Peanuts.
Fantastic segue.
Yeah, caught up with the old Peanuts movie. Had a good time with this. Highlighted the whole movie is the animation style. I would say if you're a fan of the Peanuts, be it the comic strip or the old cartoons, check it out. You'll have a really good time with this. It is very much they do not deviate from the source material in this.
Really?
I mean, it is
So it's like it's just a bunch of sad kids being depressed.
yeah. Yes. Pretty much. I mean, so the plot, it basically takes it's a year in their school. Like, it starts in the wintertime, and basically Charlie Brown, he has a crush on the little red-haired girl, and he is trying to just get her to like him or notice him, and he's just failing at life. He's just failing at everything.
Oh.
But
Sad.
the animation, I can't get it. It's so cool because it's this weird. It's CG, but it's like this weird. They made it look like it's the old cartoons. I don't know how they did it. It looks awesome.
So they kind of like computer generated the old strip.
Yeah, sort of. It's really interesting. Like, everything has kind of a textured look that almost makes it look like it's kind of hand drawn. But everything has this texture to it that gives it sort of a new dimension. I really like the animation in this. I think that was definitely the highlight. The story itself was good. I mean, it was a Peanuts story. They have all kinds of winks and nods to the other movies and the specials and all of that stuff in there too. Like, the Red Baron is in there, and Woodstock is in there, and it's just a good time. I didn't love it, but it was still, again, I'm not a huge Peanuts guy. Like, I like the Peanuts stuff, but I was never, as a kid, I was more of a Calvin and Hobbes type of kid growing up. So
Yeah, I think we all were.
But oh my god, if they made a Calvin and Hobbes movie
Shut up,
with
oh
the same
I would quit my job, just watch it forever.
the same animation style as this, holy crap, I would love it.
I would want nothing more.
I know it would never happen, but man.
No, it's never gonna happen. Which is probably good, because it's better to like long for it and to be like, oh my god, I wish, instead of that actually happening and having running the risk of it not living up to your expectation, and it's just like, oh, this is a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, not to get too far off topic, but just the logistics and how you would make a Calvin and Hobbes movie. I don't know how that would translate, because there's like you have the whole thing of like voices, like what are the voices gonna sound like?
Like right there, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know how you would animate, because like the comic strips are very, like, a lot of the strips in Calvin and Hobbes are very kind of like introspective, and I'm not sure how you would translate all of that.
Yeah,
but
it would have to be like 18 hours long.
Yeah,
it would be amazing.
I still think it'd be cool if Bill Watterson like saw this movie and was like, hey, you know what? I got a great idea. I could do this.
I'm gonna destroy the brains of everyone.
It would make so much money, probably.
Oh my god! But that's like the one movie that I would probably camp out for.
Yeah. Anyway, the Peanuts movie is worth checking out. It is still playing in theaters right now.
I'm gonna check that out. Here's another one that might be right up your alley, and I think is right up your alley. It's also playing on Netflix Instant. That's Black Hole Thin Ice. Yinan Dao, Chinese movie. Police procedural involving a serial killer. So you got the mystery, you got the intrigue, and you also got a shit ton of snow. Wonderful, wonderful snow everywhere. Which just really adds to, because number one, the cinematography of this film is spectacular. Plus you got the added bonus of the snow. So you got those two mixing together, and it's just fantastic. Then you got on top of that, it's police procedural. Got that mystery, again, that it talks about. The violence in this movie is brutal, and it's blunt. It's just unexpected, it just comes up out of nowhere. Extremely jarring. And most of it comes from the cops themselves being a bit thick, being a bit slow mentally, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if this is just my way of thinking, but every instance of violence in this movie, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that guy's a danger. and he's going to kill you in like 5 seconds. And they're just completely oblivious to why they're going to die and how. But I've seen it. I saw it coming from a mile away, and it plays out much like I thought it would. But again, it's still jarring as all hell. And there's one scene in particular that I just thought was absolutely fantastic. There's two cops. They're driving in the car. They're driving through the tunnel, an underground tunnel with the lights and everything. It's all kind of washed out with white. And then it cuts to camera mounted on the front of the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're coming out of the tunnel. When they come out of the tunnel, it's kind of like an upward grade. And when they come out, it's snowing. So it kind of looks the same, even though they're coming to the outside. They're coming out of the tunnel to the outside. You got that going on. There's a guy on his motorcycle, and he's kind of like slunched over on the side, just like crying for whatever reason. They pull up. Camera kind of swivels to check out what's going on to the right. The car pulls around in a circle, still mounted on the front, comes back. Camera swivels over, comes back around, swivels up to the front to pull onto it straight ahead. It just, oh boy. The cinematography in this thing it gets you excited.
Oh, you have me sold.
Yeah, check this out. I have a feeling that this will land somewhere on your list.
I will definitely watch this one. Try to get to that one this week for sure. Let's see what else I have. I saw The Forbidden Room.
Okay, that's my last one too.
Okay. Well,
is that your last one? Sorry, I just kind of jumped again.
I did see Two Doors Nicole as well.
Oh, okay. Again, that was one that I thought was right up your alley.
And it was, yeah. I had a really great time with that one.
Nice.
Really great time. So
I know you so well. We're the best.
Definitely recommend checking that out on Fandor. So that's right. I got a Fandor account.
Yes.
So, yes, The Forbidden Room. Let's talk about this one. We can do a little mini review for this one.
All right.
Since we both saw it this week. Not into it. No, Guy Madden he's not my kind of guy. I will say that I liked this way more than Keyhole.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Way more.
So much more.
There were parts of this movie. First of all, I loved the title cards, like all of the different crazy titles that he
inner titles and the little interludes where they would kind of bring up. I loved how every time they introduced a character, they kind of do like a title card.
Loved it. I thought that was like one of the coolest stylistic choices. I don't know if I've ever seen that before in a movie, but yes, I absolutely loved it. This one, it came so close for me to being like something that maybe I wouldn't recommend to people, but something that I enjoyed watching. But the length got to me. It took me It took me three goes to finish this one.
It took me a while as well. It just seemed to never stop.
I think that part of that, other than just it being long, is just the fact that it was so disjointed and disconnected, and there were so many just random.
Yeah, because it keeps going down that rabbit hole, and it's got that like Matryoshka meandering narrative going on, where it just keeps going on those tangents.
There's no end in sight. You don't know where it's going, and you have no concept of what's coming next or what could be coming next.
Yeah. And even especially, okay, the 2 hours goes against it, and it kind of hurts the film in general, but also in the sense that towards the end, the tangents that it goes on, they're not as interesting, they're not as intriguing as the ones that came before them. Like it starts off and it's pretty good, and you see with the submarine and with the woodsman and everything. You're like, oh, this is all. I love this. It just keeps going deeper and deeper, but then it kind of goes into these stale territories where it's like, okay, there's nothing really going on here. Let's go to something else, please. And then they go to something else, and you're like, well, this is even staler than the one that I just came from. Can we get back to the other things, please?
Yeah. I mean, if you couldn't already piece it together, it's a weird little movie.
It wears out its welcome, with it being so extremely experimental as it is. And I love that it's playing on all these genres and styles and like cinematic time periods and everything. And there's certain stretches of the film where everything just looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the visuals in this, for me at least, range from horrible Keyhole-esque
Yeah.
garbage to nearly breathtaking moments where
There's
I was like, holy fuck. Like, there's like a scene where it shows that there's a train that's going by that blew me away. There's one scene, I think it was, I don't know if it was a volcano erupting. There was like one
there's a couple of instances during that little sequence where it kind of has that malaise feel to it.
There was a scene where like a girl just kind of opens her mouth and like, I don't know if it's like smoke or some kind of liquid or something comes out of her mouth towards the end. It looks awesome.
And you have that too, where like a lot of these images are like undulating. They're almost like breathing. It's
like you're putting a match underneath a picture and it's like distorting and kind of burning.
Yeah, because I'm right there with you. Where some things are just like, oh my god, this is amateur hour. This is awful. Because he does get a bit too silly at times, where it's just like, Jesus Christ, we're kind of undercutting everything that we're doing here. But there's other instances where you're just like, holy shit, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, at times, it is kind of mind-blowing as far as the visuals in this. So the colors that he uses, some of the... Everything is just drenched in color in this movie, or most of the time. Everything is drenched in color, and some of it just looks so fucking awesome. Like, most of the scenes that take place in the woods when it's snowing... look really cool. One thing I didn't like about those is anytime they would show anybody walking, it was so obvious that they were walking in place that it bothered me.
And I think that was him, like,
I'm
going
sure,
like the comedic route. That's what I'm talking about. It's like there's times where he gets silly where it just doesn't work for me. I guess I just don't get his humor.
Yeah, I didn't like the squid thief. There were a lot of weird things that I did not find funny. I didn't find most of it humorous at all. I mean, some of it I found kind of, I don't know, sort of quirky, I guess. Just almost on an anti-comedy level, like a Tim and Eric level.
Yeah, like Udo Kier being obsessed with bums.
Yeah, that and the guy that's teaching us how to properly take a bath. Which I thought that was awesome. Like I
do love the fact that that's where all of this comes from.
Yeah.
Like that's our entry into the wormhole.
Yep. And I like that, and that the way that was shot. You know, there's a lot of movies out there that try to make themselves look old, like try to make themselves look like a film that was shot in the 60s or any other past era. That for me just looked so perfectly old.
Oh, he nails.
I mean, he
nails a couple of times where it feels perfect.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've ever seen it done that well before, because even movies that do a really good job of it, there's always something that reminds you like this is contemporary. But I mean, like that scene with the guy in the bubble, like just telling us how to take a bubble bath. I mean, it just looked like a clip from some kind of weird, I don't know, some kind of weird movie from 1962 or something.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things for me that it's kind of like Blackhat in a sense, where like 50% of it is, well, a little bit more than Blackhat, where 50% of it is like, this is some of the greatest things I've ever seen. Like some of my favorite things from 2015. And then the other half of it is just like, this is completely insufferable.
Yeah. This is the type of movie that I think I could see this playing in a museum. You go into one of those like alcoves in a museum and it's just playing it on the wall, and you walk in and you go, oh man, that looks really cool. And you stare at it for like a minute or two and then you leave. And that's it.
Because if you stay for the entire runtime, you're like, oh, this is kind of irritating.
Yeah, you just start looking at your watch and you're like, all right. And I think
there's other cool things to look at.
Yeah, exactly. I think that this is a perfect museum piece. But as far as like sitting down and watching it from start to finish, no, I think that the fact that it makes so little sense and that it's just so experimental and abstract, I think that also makes it difficult to latch on to anything, because there's no plot to speak of.
Yeah.
I mean, there are small plots that are happening, like with the submarine crew, and I was like genuinely interested to see what was going to happen with this submarine crew and how the lumberjack ended up down there. But I also didn't expect any kind of resolution from that either.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I didn't even give this one a rating on Letterboxd because
it's a tough one to rate.
I don't know. I honestly don't know how to rate this one. Like there were some things that I thought were amazing, but like overall, I just didn't really have a good time with it. So like overall, I didn't like it. But yeah, there were certain moments of something really great. I would love to see this guy just make a regular movie once, just to see what he does. Yeah, I don't think he can.
I think this is. It's like as close as you're gonna get.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh well. That's The Forbidden Room. If you're interested, you can check that out on Fandor.
Oh yeah, get that Fandor.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about some predictions. Last week, Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Chip.
Yeah, getting sick and tired of all the stupid ass jokes on Twitter about Road Chip.
Yeah. You said 0, I said 12, actual 14 on that one. The fact that it has a 14%...
that worries me.
It means that there were some people out there that gave it a positive review.
Who the fuck were they? Were they producers? They had to be producers.
They had to be somebody in the pocket of... I don't know what studio made this movie, but whatever.
I'm looking it up right now.
I mean, if it was Leonard Maltin, so help me God.
I have to know. I have to know. Got Justin Long in there. Poor guy.
Yeah, this is what happened to Jason Lee. If any of you were wondering, hey, what happened to Jason Lee? He used to be in movies, and he was like that in all those Kevin Smith movies, and he was great. This is where he is.
Applegate's in there too, and Anna Faris. I hope they recover. I really hope they recover. I don't know if they're going to though.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of them comes from the Los Angeles Times. It just says it's harmless, zippy, candy-colored fun.
Yeah.
So apparently that's a glowing review.
Oh, and RogerEbert.com was the other one.
Yeah. In general, Alvin is funny and sometimes a little bit sweet. Nailed it.
Oh.
New York Daily News. Let's just get it out of the way right now. Reader, I liked it.
Oh my God.
That's a killer review right there.
Looks like Cleveland Plain Dealer.
Oh yeah.
They gave it a B. The ending does teach a predictably sweet message, but it's the journey that's more than half the fun in this appealing movie, perfect for a winter break afternoon.
No, it's not perfect for a winter break afternoon.
Oh my God.
The perfect movie for a winter break afternoon is a bottle of like whiskey and like blankets and sweatpants.
Or any other movie that you can watch at home on your TV.
Ever.
The Arizona Republic says...
Just a random pick on Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. The Arizona Republic says it's cheesy, but what else could be expected from a film with talking animated chipmunks? I'll tell you what can be expected. A good movie. This is something that always bothers me anytime somebody says, well, what'd you expect? Like, I'll tell you what I expected. I expected a good movie. I always expect a good movie. And if I don't get one, then they need to...
That's kind of what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm expecting, because a lot of people are putting their time and money into making this thing. So I would hope that they're trying to make something good.
I'm sorry, but I don't think any movie should get a pass based on, well, what'd you expect? Like, even if it's like, some shitty Michael Bay movie or an Uwe Boll movie, that doesn't give them the right to just shit out things left and right because people expect it to be bad. Or Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, because where does that end? Where it's like, well, he's a shitty director. What did you expect?
Yeah, answer
that makes it good. How?
The answer to that question will always and forever be a good movie for me. Like, I always expect it to be good.
I was expecting my money's worth.
Yeah.
And a good use of my time. That's what I'm expecting.
I think the winner goes to New York Daily News, though. That's the best one right there. Let's just get out of the way right now.
I liked it. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, that's terrible. Sisters, you said 62, I said 65, actual 61.
Okay.
And Star Wars The Force Awakens, you said 90, I said 97, actual 95.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So next week, we have a ridiculous week next week. We have
everyone was waiting.
Yeah. Yep. See, this is why, and maybe I should have mentioned this in news, but I don't know if you saw Harvey Weinstein came out with basically he came out and said that he was against this whole award season business that's been happening over the last few years, where distributors will intentionally wait to release their movie until the end of the year so that they don't get forgotten when it comes to awards.
Yeah, and I just look now and I see where you're going.
Yeah, it's just
holy shit.
Exactly. So first up, we have Joy. This is the new David O. Russell movie. What are you thinking about this one?
It does not look good.
I have no interest in seeing it. I think that...
Let's be honest. Jennifer Lawrence is playing version number 7 of Jennifer Lawrence. It's the same fucking character she always plays. She's not a good actress. I'm sorry.
I might take issue with that. I think she's...
I think she's okay, but no one seems to really challenge her.
I still think her best movie was Winter's Bone, but
yeah, I might agree with you.
I think that was her best performance. But anyway, Joy, I will say, I don't know. I think critics are digging this one. I'll say 82.
Okay, I'm gonna go 70.
Okay. We also have The Hateful Eight. Pretty excited about this one. I got my tickets for the 70mm roadshow screening.
Oh boy.
Yep, pretty excited. What are you thinking on The Hateful Eight?
I think this one's going to drop a little bit. I'm going to say 74.
Okay. I think it's going to be pretty big. So I'll say 86 on that one.
Okay.
We also have Concussion. Will Smith, NFL, traumatic head injury action.
Couldn't find any African actors. Yeah. It looks like a TV movie, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It sure does.
What are you thinking on Concussion?
I'm gonna say 54.
54. I will say 58 on that one.
I'm waiting for the actual 30 for 30 that comes out that's gonna blow it out of the water.
Yeah. Anyway, but, yeah. Point Break, the old Point Break remake.
Which reminds me that I need to see the original.
The original's not even good. Let's be honest. It's fun because it's so cheesy and dumb.
Okay.
But as far as being a solid movie, I do not think that it is a good movie. I like Point Break, but honestly, what did you expect?
What do you expect?
I think the new Point Break is going to be an absolute god-awful mess, and I'm going to say 23.
I'm going to go 32.
All right. Switching it up.
Switch it.
Also have The Revenant, the new Alejandro Iñárritu.
Oh, boy.
I'm pretty excited about this one. Not going to lie. Looks pretty awesome.
Does look pretty good.
What are you thinking on this one?
I'm gonna say 80.
80? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna go 80.
That's probably a good bet. I'll say 83. Yeah, I'll stick with 83 on that one. And finally, we have Daddy's Home. This is the Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg one.
Okay.
Not, I don't know. The trailers look okay, but it just looks kind of like more of the same. I'm sure it's worth a few laughs at least. I'll say 61.
Well, I'm going to say 56.
I'm not sure who the director is on that one, so that could determine my score, but whatever. All right, no VOD releases next week because of the holiday, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Next week on Blu-ray, very slim pickings on the Blu-ray front as well. We have Pan, we have Pawn Sacrifice. That's the Bobby Fischer one with Tobey Maguire. And that's it. Project Almanac is the only other one.
Yeah.
Oh, Dragon Blade, that Jackie Chan one, is also coming out. So that's pretty much it. Any criterions?
There are none.
Yeah, didn't think so. So basically, next week you need to go to the theater.
You're going to have plenty of options.
Yeah,
Instead of playing Star Wars on every single screen, you're actually going to have like an array of films.
Yeah, I will definitely be seeing. Well, I already said I was going to see The Hateful Eight, but I'm also going to check out The Revenant. I probably will skip the others.
We're gonna next week. Are we doing a show next weekend? No, probably, right?
Yeah,
Christmas.
Since it's going to be Christmas, we may end up skipping it next week and taking a break, but who knows?
The week after that, Star Wars talk, getting into it.
Yeah, we can talk Star Wars, but we also have our year-end.
Oh yeah,
top
we're gonna
10s.
be talking about movies for fucking days.
Yeah, so maybe as if we skip next week, maybe what we'll do is either come out with like a bonus episode, or we'll do like like an extra long episode or something just to make up for it.
Oh, we're gonna go long.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet and @FilmPulseKevin. And if you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/FilmPulse, and consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.